Okay, give me a second. Okay, there's some problem with my Streamlabs OBS a while. Okay, okay. So, okay, so today we are going to have our Geek Night, and we're going to talk about Parasyte the Maxim. Okay, and Parasyte the Maxim came out a couple of years ago, and I do feel like those who are new to anime should not miss it because it is mm, it falls in between, teenage teenage dilemma and a bit of a horror story at the same time. Okay, so and overall this is a very, it's an excellent anime with well pacing, okay, because recently, recently past couple of years, like 5 years or so, um it has been a standard that uh most anime have around 12 or 13 episodes, okay, but the Parasite was just on the at the end at the end of the era um where they have 24 episodes, okay, in order for 2 seasons. Okay, so compared to most uh animes right now, okay, it, the problem with animes right now, they are mostly like very very rush, okay, since they have to meet that 12 to 13 episode deadline, okay. So, and the plot itself, the development, everything is very good, okay, and which is why I wanted to talk about it, okay. So the first thing that wait uh, okay the first thing I want to talk about is that Parasite the Maxim, okay, is that the world is invaded by parasitic aliens, okay. So in the beginning, they did not explain, okay, uh, how these aliens, because when we met them early on in the first episode, it's like they they're like dandelions or something. Okay, so we don't know what it is exactly, but we do know that it look like some sort of a worm. Okay, so and they okay, and when they are in the worm stage, it's not like they have like self consciousness or whatsoever. It is that they um their biological problem. Okay, so their natural instinct is to invade a human, okay, and take over them, okay. So the problem, it's just like, they don't have a mind of their own, but they know that they need to do this. It's just like, for example, when a baby is born, okay, you know when uh when a baby is born, if they are give if they're shown breast, they quickly suckle on it. It's just like that, okay. They are programmed to do it, okay. So, okay, although that we've seen that there's a couple of cases, a couple of these parasitic worms are trying to uh are all over the place, but it's not widespread. It is not to the point where it's like everywhere, like every couple of houses there's one, okay? But it's still it's widespread, but it's not focused on one particular place, is what I'm trying to say, okay. And they didn't go through other countries, okay, so maybe we can just accept this as a Japan thing, okay. So it's spread throughout all of Japan, okay. For this kind of the parasite alien is spread throughout it, okay. And they are being talked over as some sort of weird accidents, okay. But what they found is like, the organs was laid out like some sort of a like sadistic uh killing spree, okay, or even we like gas leakage, okay, because even the people itself, even the police don't know what is the motive of it, okay. So they assume that this is like some kind of a freak accident, okay. This is because the public, even the government, are not fully aware of the situation, okay, because who would have think that some sort of some sort of alien, okay, something as small as this parasitic alien would actually invade the human body and actually take over that. Okay, so it's that is what and that is why nobody anyway understands it. Okay, so and they haven't catch it. Okay, even if they saw one, they probably would have killed it. Okay, because another thing that they have been programmed to is that other than to take over the human body, and like they also programmed to be when they take over the human body, they are programmed to be cannibals. They have to eat. You have to eat humans to survive. That is the natural instinct that they were programmed to, and which is why it is quite which is why later on we can talk a little bit more about it. Okay, it's kind of weird how things develop after some time when these parasitic aliens get uh, able to understand themselves better, and they can see themselves as not as they're destined, but they can shape their future. Okay, so yeah. Okay, now basically just gonna talk about protagonist because most of it we're just gonna talk the story focuses on him. Okay, although there are some part they jump here and there, but I can say 80 to 90% it's about this guy. Okay, so the protagonist, okay, is okay. The story is being told by perspective of a teenage boy who was invaded by the alien. Remember, this alien, they are programmed to take over the body. Okay, yeah. So what they'll do is that for this guy, okay, Shinichi, yeah, I forgot to wrote down his name. Okay, is that okay? This guy's name is Shinichi. I forgot to wrote down his name. Okay, over here, but how it happened is that the parasitic alien actually um invaded his right hand. Okay, so he invaded his hand and it burrows deep into his veins or something. Okay, and what what the parasitic alien tried to do is that it tried to crawl up to the brain. Okay, most probably is going to like take over the brain, or eat it, or attach itself to the brain and take control of it like that. Okay, but okay, it seems that Shinichi, he was aware of it. Okay, he was aware of it, and he somehow managed uh to stop that. Okay, but okay, to stop it from going to his upper body, because remember the the alien is in his right hand at the moment. Okay, so he's trying to stop it, and then the alien could not go up further up, and because of that, he is, in a sense, he is safe. Okay, but because of that, he lost his right arm, right hand. Okay, depending on how you want to see it, because from what I see, is that uh, at the very least, that this parasitic alien took over from his hand to his elbow. By the very least, okay, I'm not sure whether the whole arm is taken over it. Okay, but I do know that it's definitely more than the hand. Okay, and over time, okay, since the parasitic alien can't uh, since the parasitic alien failed to take over his body, now he have to learn how to cooperate and live together with him. Okay, because um he is just the alien now is just a hand. Okay, and then later on they call Shinichi started to name him Migi. Okay, which means right. Okay, remember the alien took over his right hand. So at first Shinichi was like reluctant to go with this idea, but Shinichi, in a sense, have to comply with it, because Shinichi, uh, the alien made a good point that if you go to the police, to the government, what they're gonna do is they're going to dissect you. which is going to be terrible for Shinichi. Okay, but but it's going to be a nightmare for Migi, because he's basically gonna be, being cut off. And okay, so in a sense that Migi struck a deal with him that, okay, I'm gonna be your hand when you need it. Okay, I'm gonna hand over the autonomy. Remember, Migi had taken over his part of his hand, and he can't do it. And Shinichi can't do anything about it. Okay, so if Migi wants to, like use his hand against him, he can do it anytime. Okay, but Migi is that the difference between most of the random parasites is that, since Migi, in a sense that he knew that he failed, he will need to live with it, okay? Because Migi is not in full control, full power, because he's just the right hand, okay? So um he can't eat it, because if you look at the picture, Migi does have a mouth, okay? So Migi can actually, eat food through that hole that he made in the hand. So in a sense, he doesn't need it, but you know, Migi did say one thing, that Migi cannot, since he had fully, how should I say, uh they fully became one with the hand, okay? So Migi cannot actually go for the head right now, because the bot Migi's body has been connected to the hand so much that he can't do that, okay? And that the only way for him to live is that as a hand from now on, okay? So, and then they meet up with a couple of other parasitic aliens, okay? And the thing is that these parasitic aliens, they have like some kind of built-in radar with them, and they can, in a sense, like know that there's another one of them around, okay? So um so not only that they can find them, the other people can also find them. So in other words, most of the time, is that the other side is going to find them, okay? And since more, like I told you, the parasitic aliens, they are biological program to first invade the body. Second is to eat humans, okay? So now when they became human, they have to cannibalize to eat, okay? So when the other parasitic aliens see Migi like this, is that at first they think that he is, without a doubt, he's a failure, they think, okay? And then they also think that Migi, okay, had failed, so now they have to kill him to keep it a secret, or just because they don't accept him, okay? So they, from now on, Migi and Shinichi, either they like it or not, they have to cooperate with each other, because if not, the other parasitic aliens is gonna kill him, okay? So yeah, and throughout this, this anime, you can see that he is Shinji, actually went through a lot, okay? A lot of, emotional journey, okay? And if you look here, okay, if you look here in this picture, and in this picture, wait, I think I'm just gonna add in something. Give me a second. Give me a second. Okay, you can take my lame cursor. If you look, this is Shinichi, okay? And if you look here, he's like this, okay? This is because at a point in the anime, that Shinichi suffered blood loss so much that Migi had to repair his body with his own regenerative cells, okay? So as you can see, okay, Migi, like I told you, Migi is an alien, okay? So Migi can change the shape of his body any way he wants. Okay, so here you can see that he can turn it into like some sort of a metal blade. Okay, can pop up an eye, can pop a mouth. So um so in other words, Miggy have this kind of like cell manipulation. So what Miggy did was Miggy fixed his body, and at the same time to do so, Miggy shared his cell replication, cell manipulation function with Shinichi, and slowly Shinichi, like it or not, his body, absorbed his Miggy's cell modification, cell cell replication, everything, and actually it turned Shinichi to be more athletic, because if you look here, you can see that Shinichi is the from the pic from the looks of it here, you can see that Shinichi is probably like the smart guy, the guy who doesn't talk, uh, who is not the jockey, who is basically the bookworm type. But if you look here, it looks like he's an average jockey who is like good at sport, and which is true, because um other than this cell manipulation ability that Migi have, it seems that it improves his improve the body's I'm gonna use it. I know this sounds good, but the body stats. Okay, so in other maybe strength, agility, and everything. Okay, so yeah, that is mostly what it's focused on. It's focused on the protagonist. Okay, it hardly go like I said early on. It hardly goes on to other characters. Okay, even if they did, it's just a very short moment of it. Okay, even when they talk about the news, it's only like a few like less than a minute or so most of the time, and then later on pan back to the protagonist. Okay. Hmm. Now, what to expect from this series? Okay, like in the beginning, I told you that this series is well paced with 24 episodes, but there are some parts that I felt they are rushed. Okay, so the part that I said they are rushed is that just now I said that the other characters are not given it's not other characters, other events are not uh properly developed. Like I say, is that for example, the news section, like, oh, there's been a killing, okay, the body has been found and the organ is all over the floor. So they didn't go to like the police side of things. Okay, that's what I would like to see from it. That we can see how could this have happened. This is like the fifth or the sixth time that this has happened in this month. So they didn't go through that, but they did hint of it. But I still want to know more. Okay, and okay, I'm not saying that all events are rushed. Okay, that are not relating. Well, they are not. They are not told from Shinichi's perspective, but it's still pretty sad that um the the anime itself didn't focus on the smaller minor parts. Okay, and another thing that you can expect from this series is the emotional roller coaster where the protagonist have to suffer throughout the series. Okay, without a doubt. Okay, in the first episode already, like I told you that Shinichi was he had a trouble with fighting off uh Migi. Okay, when Migi was still a worm. Okay, and the thing is that he thought of it as some sort of a nightmare. Okay, because it happened in the middle of the night. So where okay, but that's only the beginning of his suffering. Okay, where throughout the anime you see that he will lose a couple of people, where he will have to he suffered injuries like I told you, and uh where those part you, even though that uh okay, this is gonna be connected to the next part. Okay, how the aliens live. Okay, nature versus nurture, is that okay, I'm gonna talk about this part first, then I'm gonna go back to here again. Okay, so um the aliens, like I told you, they are programmed, okay, to to invade the human body, to eat other humans. But the thing is that some of these aliens, the how should I say, they realize who they are, and they realize that, why should we eat humans, why should we do this, okay? And they fight off their nature, which is to cannibalize humans and things, okay? And they started to like, hey, instead of killing them, why don't I just try to eat what humans eat instead of eating them, okay? And they found out that, you know as Paris as Parasyte, it seems that they can ingest the same food as human take and use it as their sustenance, okay? Because even though they hijack and they can manipulate the host body, but the problem is that um it's not like they take over everything, okay? So basically, maybe it enhances the body, but maybe the stomach still have its own function, okay? The heart still have its own the uh, same function. So basically, when when they take over, they enhance the humans the host body, and even if they got hit, like for example their vitals, for example their brain or their their heart, they are gonna bleed out to death. Okay, so that's still a critical point for them. Okay, so when when the reason why I say nature versus nurture is that there is one person that you need to watch out, that is very interesting, which is this lady over here. Okay, this lady over here is without a doubt, I can say that the smartest alien in the whole series, where she questioned her own very nature, and at one point she decided to get pregnant and have a baby. Okay, even though that there's no love whatsoever, you can see that she's trying to cope with her with her role as a mother, and at the same time as an alien. Okay, so um but aliens, they are normally they're indifferent to normally aliens, they're indifferent to human emotions. Okay, so it's just like in the beginning, okay, Miggy, even though Miggy is an alien, okay, uh instead of like just being needlessly violent and stuff, okay, but for Miggy, okay, when he continue learning about stuff, okay, and because I assume that Miggy is receiving sustenance uh from Shinichi, okay, and some of the cells, in his body, like kind of like um weaken the cell ability, okay, uh of Miggy, okay, and when that happened, you can see that sometimes Miggy would say something weird, like he will care about other human beings rather than like, because Miggy's main thing is, I I am first, okay, I come above everything, okay. If I'm not early on that Miggy even threatened Shinichi like, um, if you're going to do something that harm me, I might as well kill you and we both die. Okay, so that's okay. But then later on, it's like sometimes Miggy like say, hey, do you like show Miggy shows compassion. Okay, now this is where I'm going to where I say these two parts, they kind of link in with each other. Okay, like I told you, this is after when Shinichi was fixed by Miggy. Okay, when that happened, the cell okay, Miggy shared the shell function with Shinichi's body, and Shinichi started to change into this. But at the same time, Shinichi is he's becoming less of a human and becoming more like these aliens, where he's being indifferent. There are times where um when somebody died, he wanted to cry, but he can't cry. Okay? He's acting indifferent. When that happened, you can see that he is going through a lot of pain, but since the cell ability actually like kind of suppress his human emotion. Okay, and in a sense, it turned him stronger, but deep down, okay, in his heart, he's very fragile. He's about to break. Okay, it's what you can feel. And I really, you can say that nature versus nurture is that he was raised as a human, but when he was infused with Miggy's cells, he started to become less human. But for the Miggy, it's the other way around. Miggy was trained at was programmed to be this killing machine, killing humans and stuff. Okay, but at the end, okay, since he either he interacted with it, either this since he's sharing the same body and with Shinichi, he started to become more me started to become more human. That is what it means, okay? And also about the lady that I showed you just now, she had to go through this, and she literally goes against her own nature. You know, like, why should I do this? Okay, taking raising the baby, giving birth and raising the baby herself. Okay, even though her parenting techniques, okay, and when um this is a spoiler, but you should expect this from now from Geek Night. But there's a point where um when she had the baby, she's like, okay, how do I deal with this baby? This baby is crying. Yeah, what should I do? And then what she did was she hold the baby quiet, and the baby went quiet. Okay, and you can see that she is she's coping with herself. Okay, uh, that she is still a parasite. She's indifferent, but it's not like she's going to like leave that baby out in the cold. Okay, and how she died is without one of the most emotional emotional scene in anime history, because it is so well written. Okay, is that if you watch it from the beginning to the end, okay, at that point, okay, you see like, oh, um these aliens, they, even though they they shouldn't take over the human body in the first place, but it's not like they are totally unsavable. Okay, it's not like they can they're like they are just programmed to do this kind of things. Okay, so which is quite a heartbreak. It's a heartbreaking and heartfelt moment when you saw how she died. Okay. Okay. Next is to talk about how fragile the society is. This one, fragile, is not like saying that the whole society went into chaos. Is that, like I say, um, these aliens, when they cope with themselves, they try to understand themselves further. Okay, and some of this they try to infiltrate the society. Okay, so some of these aliens, they actually, became politicians, okay? High-ranking members of the government, okay? Well, it's not high-ranking, it's like some level in the government, okay? So when that happened, um, you know, there's certain, like, without doubt, some of these aliens, they want to learn more. Uh, they want to control more of the human society, but they can't help. Like, for example, go against their urges, like want to eat human or want to kill humans. Okay, so when that happens, the leader or the higher ranking one that have politician status or government status, they kind of like sweep it under the rug stuff. Okay, so you know it's quite okay. If I do this, it might sound like conspiracy theory. Okay, but this kind of this kind of part, I wonder what will happen if conspiracy theorists found this anime, and they were like, oh, they are lizard men. Okay, it's not. Okay, it's just like, what if? Okay, how these aliens take over is basically a conspiracy theorist wet dream. Okay, but instead of talking about conspiracy theory, we just can entertain it as a what if scenario, not as a, well, this is definitely happening in real life. Okay, So the point is that um we we as humans, um you know we assume that this person, okay, who have the same face, who have the same voice, who has the same thumbprint and everything, okay, is this person, because as we know that nobody in the world shares the same thumbprints. Okay, maybe there's some rare occasions that happen, but it's basically impossible. It's basically almost extremely rare to the point of impossible that a person can copy this person's appearance, thumbprints and stuff. Okay, and I want to talk about one more part where about the lady that I told you, is that um that how she raised the child and stuff. Okay, where the mother of the host, okay, actually noticed something weird. She actually say something. What did you do to my daughter? Where is she? Okay, and at that moment, without a doubt, okay, the 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 parasite that actually became the host of take over the host was like, oh, there is such a thing as as a motherly bond. Okay, so which is why she's like, in a sense, she wants to invest more time with the baby that she had. And when I you know that is like a turning point for her. If it's not a turning point, at least is a very big event in her understanding of humans. Okay, and in a sense, I do feel that she wants to be human. Okay, she longs to be a human. Okay, uh, because humans may be, okay, from her eyes, humans are weak and lots of flaws, but she still wants to understand them. Maybe in a sense, deep down, she wants to be like them. Okay, so at the end, you can see that yeah, she does long. She does, like, I did a lot of mistakes, but I still want to protect my kid. Yeah, I still want to protect this baby. Okay, I cry when I watch that. Okay, because I know how she goes. From the moment we met her, how she's indifferent, and at the end she's willing to sacrifice her life to do that, which is totally against the nature of itself. It's like Miggy. Okay, most of these parasites have the same nature as Miggy. Like, my life above all. But then at the end, how she died is that she do the exact opposite. Okay, uh, so yeah, okay. And lastly is the unnecessary death of a character. Okay, so like just now I said how that she died, the alien lady died. Okay, but then there are a couple more deaths in the stories, and then like, even though that the one that hits you is like the important person in Shinichi's life, but there are others like for example, oh, some people in the school died. That's it. It's like they, even though it's not like George R. R. Martin level kind of like killing, but it's still um even though they don't talk about it, but people around him still died, and it's kind of sad that only like the people around him that have close relationship, he was flood he was dumbfounded by it. But I want to see that, hey, there's a part where the aliens came and invade the school. Okay, and without doubt that alien is violent in nature and kills some of it. And Shinichi didn't uh, not only Shinichi, the the story itself doesn't focus on these people. Like, for example, maybe they can have like assembly when they honor these people that died, okay, and stuff. So, and that didn't happen. Okay, which shows that even though that it's less of an importance, but it should still be paid attention. So, for example, like Shinichi will be like, oh, this whole, okay, for example, let's give a name. Okay, Mr. S, Mr. S, the math teacher. Mr. T, Okay, Mr. T Solo. Okay, Miss M, or for example, the English teacher uh, died because of me, because what that alien came for me. There's no like that part of him didn't happen, and I kind of feel sad about it. Okay, that they didn't focus on it. Okay, so okay, now we're gonna go to the next part. It's about uh my thoughts on Shinichi. Okay, Shinichi, he's on the whole series. Okay, Shinichi, I do feel like there are room for improvement, and I do feel like the ending is rushed. Okay, um that okay, I do feel that it is rushed. Okay, and I really, well, it's not the ending actually. It's the ending itself is a problem, but the final battle is kind of like a letdown. Okay, but in a sense that it is fitting, because okay, I'm not gonna spoil everything. These parasitic aliens, they didn't come from another planet. It seems like it is created by the Earth itself. Okay, uh, so yeah, and how the final battle ends is probably, in both sense, it is a if it's if you're talking about anime standards, it is a letdown. If it talks about the impact of things, okay, and the issues, okay, it does shows that it does make a huge impact. Okay, just depending on, as an anime lover, or if for anime standpoint, it looks like that. But from if you see it from the issues perspective, then you can see that, oh, okay, we should do better. Okay, I don't want to spoil everything. Okay, so yeah, that's that's a huge letdown. Okay, and I do feel like if this anime series, they actually even have another season, say for example 36 episodes, I think that they can flesh it out better. Okay, uh, but I do know that this anime is actually based on a manga. I didn't read the manga, but I do read like the reviews on it. It's saying that they did how should I say, um try to modernize it to that time. Okay, because this anime came out around 2014. Okay, 2014, 2015, and it is a at that time, smartphones are about to pick up steam. Okay, so not I don't say that everybody in the society has smartphone. I would say like it's a growing trend. Okay, so but that in the anime, they did used to have mobile phones. Okay, and if I'm not wrong, in the manga itself, it is quite an old one, and so in the 90s, if I'm not wrong. So yeah, there's some mobile phones. Made from that standpoint, they did try to modernize it a little bit to make it more relatable for the general audience, okay, at that time. And um that is great effort in its, for them not to follow directly from the manga, which is pretty good. Okay, and the next part is that I want to talk about is um why I you heard this before, I said it just now, is that they didn't do that well uh in events unrelated to Shinichi. Okay, so I do wanna know, like, okay, uh what is the police going to do, because you know mysterious murder cases like this have been popping up here and there almost everywhere in Japan, but we didn't get to see it from this uh from a police perspective. I do wish that they we have a chance to uh to be in one of the policeman's shoes, where uh he went to the scene of this alien attack situation, when they see the blood all over, the organs all over. Okay, it's like, and the guy be like, oh, not again, how many times? Okay, and then later he went and we did some research and saying like this guy, he is a loving father, this and that. I do wish that that kind of situation does show, but like I say, the manga itself is very old, and manga doesn't have much leeway. So in a sense, I did wish that the anime would put some effort in this part, but like I said, they did. Even though they have more time compared to other animes right now, okay, like I say, the animes right now is in the season 12 to 13 episodes most of the time. Okay, they did have more time to develop, but I feel like there should be a little bit more time. Okay, that's why I say like if 36 episode would be much better. Okay, and at the end, I do feel like um they should you know the ending should be more well developed. Okay, it should be given more time. Okay, when you watch the end, okay, you do feel like, okay, what happened afterwards? Okay, uh so and is the alien problem solved, or okay, is the alien problem solved, or are there any other aliens? Okay, because we killed the big bad guy, but what about the rest? What about the friends that we made? Okay, that also suffer with Shinji. Okay, there's also another guy who is just like Shinji, but the alien is stuck on his chin. Okay, so I do wish that they tied up a bit of the loose ends and stuff. Okay, but I do understand that they have um budget issues, time issues, and everything. Okay, so but overall, if you watch it, okay, this is why I have Geek Night, is that um we talk about the good things about the anime, the good things about the manga, but we also talk about uh, the shortcomings of the anime slash manga. Okay, so that's yeah, that is why going through this. Okay, I hope that people if you watched it before, or you're going to watch Parasite the Maxim. Okay, maybe like if you feel that I hope you can pay attention, and then if you feel like I make a good point, maybe you could comment down below and stuff, okay, so that I can know that I'm not the only person who felt that way. Okay. Mm. Okay, so that is my thoughts on the series as a whole. Okay, now next is that I'm going to talk about my weekly schedule. Okay, so yesterday I just started with Troubleshooter, and you know I didn't play it for like a couple of months. Okay, but it's not like maybe 4 or 5 months. Okay, and I can tell you, even though this is basically my second time playing through Troubleshooter, I can see myself playing it, again and again, okay? Because it's that fun, okay? So I think I'm gonna play Troubleshooter for a couple more, well, at least until next week, okay? So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Troubleshooters, and today we had our Geek Night, Parasyte, and Saturday we'll have our novel night. Okay, I'm gonna finish up Mama Goto, and hopefully, okay, because I checked it, it's not going to be that long. At least should be 2 to 3 hours, okay, at least. And on Sunday we're going to do Namaiki Deletion. Okay, Namaiki Deletion is not uh, I Namaiki Deletion. The character designs really appeals to me, and the voice actress that they chose to voice them is pretty good. So from that is what made me decide to play Namaiki Deletion, and that they did have some synergy in the banter and stuff. Okay, that's why I think about this game. Okay, so Namaiki Deletion, I think at least around 3 to 4 sittings, okay, because I went through the trial, okay, and I can't tell for sure. It's maybe, like I say, maybe around 3 or 4, maybe it could go until 5, okay, I'm not sure, okay, but I do know it's more than 2, okay. So and then next is that, okay, if you okay, if you like what I'm doing, okay, you can subscribe to the channel, you can like and share the videos, you can comment on the videos, okay. If you have the time, you can join me live, okay. And if you watch my other streams, okay, okay, you can watch my other stream, okay. And especially if you're not only interested in Geek Night, maybe you can come to my novel, which I will translate it in Japanese visual novel into English. Okay, so like I told you before, that visual novel, the novel night, I'm trying to focus more on the untranslated one. Okay, for now. Okay, and if you have anything you think I can do on, please comment down below. Okay, and okay, this is what you can do to support me as a channel. Okay, as a YouTuber. Okay, and okay, so this is it. And today is the end of our Geek Night. And next week, I'm planning to do about Boku Dake ga Inai, or in other words, it's Erase. Okay, because after looking at after I looked at Parasyte the Maxim, kept talking about the difference a little bit in the manga and the anime. I did the first anime that I came to think of that have some minor differences. Well, it's not some minor difference. It's like the storytelling differences. The Erase came up to mind, okay, because there is some minor. There's how they choose to tell the story is quite different in okay. Boku Dake Machi Erase have three versions: manga, anime, and live drama. Okay, so I do wanna go through. Uh, I do wanna like that will be part of my analysis of it. Okay, so yeah. Okay, like I said, if you enjoyed, please subscribe and like the video, like and share the videos. Okay, and that's it for today. Okay, I'll continue. Okay, tomorrow I'm going to play troubleshooters. If you have the time, please watch my stream or join me live. Okay, so yeah, and that's all for today. Okay, I'll see you next week for another edition of Geek Night where we talk about Erase. Okay, bye bye.